Testing, testing. Testing, testing. We will start in 5 minutes. We're gonna start in 4 minutes. Good morning, everybody. We're gonna start in just 2 minutes. I'm glad you're here. We're gonna start just in a few seconds. Thank you for being here. Hello, everyone, and I am very excited of being here today to have this candid and honest conversation about what I have learned on my coaching journey. For those who don't know about me, my name is Miguel Villagra. I'm a board certified internal medicine physician. I'm a telemedicine provider. Taking care of patients among 20 states in the country. And in addition to that, I have a digital health consulting business where I advise startups that are trying to improve the healthcare system in United States. Um, However, one of the aspect of my life that I am most passionate about has been precisely my entrepreneurial journey and how I got into coaching. I'm a certified life coach, and I am a positive intelligence coach, and I've been blessed by having the opportunity to serve other physicians in different stages of their career and life. And I have learned so much just by being an active listener. And I have seen the transformation that occurs when you are able to have honest, transparent conversation with your clients who has all the wisdom inside. It's just of how getting them into this position of aha moments, right? Where they can set their more widely dreams as possibility and see what is possible for them. So today, I'm going to try to share some of the lessons I have learned by being an active coach and professionally speaking through my business at a doctor's journey, who all of you are invited to be part of. We have multiple resources that are, I would say, extremely useful for anyone at any stage of their career. We have an amazing newsletter where we publish very insightful content, uh, practical tools. We at my company we've been on board with the trend and early adoption of artificial intelligence and other technologies that have led me to my digital health consultant journey, but at the same time had allowed me to see how I can implement some of these technologies into my workflows. I have different coaching programs. The main three ones are I have my core program called Revitalize MD, who is a very insightful transformational program where healthcare workers and physicians, allies, um, can get a better understanding or their priorities, their goals, and and definitely starting a journey of transformation. I also have a program based on mental fitness and positive intelligence that is part of the 6 weeks PQ program. And that's an offering that I also have available for those physicians interested in getting more deep into the concepts of positive intelligence and transformation, which I'm going to touch base because there's a lot of evidence behind it. And the third one is for those physicians that are already in the entrepreneurial journey and they're looking at get more clarity about the next step on their journey as physician entrepreneur and business owner, either scaling their businesses and be part of a empowering community. I have a mastermind called the PEX Immersion Program, Physician Entrepreneur Exchange. This is a program that was founded with seven other amazing coaches, business owner, where we are able to offer strategic and business advice, coaching, and other resources that can help any healthcare provider that is building or trying to scale their own businesses. Now, today we're going to focus on the coaching aspect of my career and journey, and let's just get started. Now, um, what I have seen when I reflect upon having these coaching sessions with some docents or physician at this point in my career, one of the things that I have reflected upon is that burnout is not always about hours. It might be about the lack of the presence of misalignment between what you want to do, your priorities, your passion, and your work environment. And you need to understand that you are allowed to shift on your identity. And that's one of the things that I see, um, a lot of people that are stuck, right? Because they don't feel, they're so rooted into their routine and comfort zone and salaries and positions and W2 job, etc., that they just feel like change is just not reachable. And I see that there is more hunger for meaning than we admit. And it's very fascinating. And I went through that transformation myself. I was in denial. I knew that in my mind, I have clarity of everything I needed to accomplish, professionally speaking, although I was ignoring some other aspect of my life. And I realized that I have a lot of blind spots on me that I was obviously evidently not seeing, and having that opportunity to have more deep conversation about what I truly want, not only what I need but what I want, that led me to start building more clarity. And I have seen that over and over again. When I was referring to the aha moment, interesting, you might say it's not quite necessary that you're coming out with the best next company that you're going to build, although that would be amazing and that happen quite often. But on the flip side, it's more about understanding what is your true purpose, what are your values, what are at the core of your belief system. And I think that when you get really granular and deep into it, you can see, you find more clarity, freedom, and purpose. I was reading a study before getting into the call where a surgical residency study found that residents' well-being, and I'm talking about surgical residents, residents' well-being correlate far more with purpose-driven training than with duty hours. In short, simply cutting shift often fails because physician needs work that feels worthwhile. And considering that half of physicians are experiencing burnout, uh, it's interesting and quite important how these crisis, this existential vacuum that is being well described by Viktor Frankl, the author of the book "A Man's Search for Meaning." Um, I think that I need to underscore this concept because this is there is such a huge barrier to break, so to speak, that shield that we have built where we just don't want to get to the degree of being vulnerable enough to share your mental process, to share what you really, really want. And I think that people is hunger for connection, is hunger for looking at that concept of freedom. And you see that not all is about working hours. I'm not saying that that's not important. And definitely, I'm not ignoring the multifactorial aspect of burnout, um, practicing in the healthcare system, and so on and so forth. However, it's important for anyone to understand that we have a choice and we have a component of agency. And I invoke into your component of agency where you take charge of your life, of your career, and of your profession. And that, again, there are simple things that you can get to that doesn't necessarily require a lot of work or effort in the sense of making drastic change on your life and work, etc. I do think that requires a lot of hard work. And I have seen through coaching sessions, I have seen as when you start sparking that change, you see more where just the mental state, but more important, even the energy levels, I'm able to catch it and detect it. Sometimes just by the way the provider is speaking, the client is speaking to me, you see those nuances, right? Those changes in their mental energy, etc. So that's what I like about intense work like the PQ, Positive Intelligence Program, which is one of my coaching offering. Um, gives you that opportunity to have this, uh, I would say, a mental reset. It's like changing your operative system, your software, so to speak, where your life is running through. And again, we live in this automatic life where we oftentimes we fail to stop and have enough time to not only take a break, which is important, not only to wind down, which is important, but also to reflect on our priorities and goals. And one of the things, going back to the identity is shifting, is the fact that you need to understand that, well, of course, life is in the transition. We are always changing, but I'm hoping that we're always changing for better. We're always growing, because if you remain stagnant, you're just going backwards. And that's something that is very, very well documented. People that lack purpose in life, they just get depressed, they get burned out, and they just don't know what to do with their life. Now, going back to the concept of working hours, and I'm going to underscore this for today's conversation, because you see, I can tell you that reducing working hours won't fix a misaligning between your job position and your priorities, values, and purpose. And I have gone through that before, and I have the opportunity, even for me, to reduce working hours with the expectance of, with that, all the problems will get fixed. And that has far from the truth. And until I realized that that was beyond just working hours, it was more about my desire to entertain my deep curiosity about building something new, like a doctor's journey. When I found myself in that position where I now reflect back and see that it was a bold decision, it was a risky decision for sure. But on the flip side, now I feel so fulfilled and satisfied that each time, I really don't regret anything that I have done. Although I need to confess that when I started doing it, was coming from a place of almost desperation, because I was so burned out as an executive physician at the time. Now, purpose can make the same workload feel lighter. And that's important, because you see, I was describing my positions, and you see, I work different hats, right? From a professional coach, a physician entrepreneur dealing with a digital health consulting agency, to the fact that I'm still practicing medicine. I'm still take care of patients few times on the month in the hospital, and also working virtually from home from my telemedicine program. And guess what? I love and enjoy doing it, right? So, because I am actually fulfilling my purpose in life. So, but the point being, I'm not quite necessarily like, if you allowed for all the working hours, I probably will be probably about the same, maybe a little bit less, but not drastically less to how much I was working when I was burned out. On the flip side, I'm doing what I want. And that and that definitely on its own, just by saying it, I feel empowered. And when I share it, I feel more empowered, and I'm hoping that it can spark some inspiration for anyone that is watching or listening right now. Because you see, when you don't know why you're doing it, even rest won't restore you. Because again, burnout isn't just about workload, it's about meaning. And um and this is something that, when I look at the stats, where physicians are trying to get permission to dream, to make a change, and I want you today, for anyone that is in medicine, in healthcare, or building a business, dealing with the uncertainty of building a new startup, I want you to reflect on your purpose and priorities, because you see, it will open the door of a more smooth process to building systems and processes and automations that can support your journey. But it all starts, again, with understanding where you are in your life, your career, and also your business. Um, and definitely, I think that there is a hunger for physicians for what I call permission to dream. And as I was alluding before, we oftentimes forget about what we truly want. We are only doing what we feel we have to, we need to, have to, need to, are very constrained, are very restrict, want to, open to possibility, to open to your more deepest dream about what you want to build for you, for your family, for your business, or for your career. And you cannot build what you won't allow yourself to imagine. Again, you cannot build what you won't allow yourself to imagine. And I think that that's what I like about coaching, because coaching is not about telling you what to do, it's about opening a space where change might be spark. Um, I was looking at this stat where 62% of physicians change jobs or career path in just 2 years, and 35% plan to leave their current roles in the next 5 years. So what are they doing? Some of them starting a side practice, we call the side gig, right? Moving into administrative or leadership position, some of which taking sabbaticals. And the reality is a lot of them are just in the what if vision, right? Where cultural norms can stifle these ideas. And what we want is to get out of this tunnel vision that we're currently on. I was looking at a CHG, a healthcare survey in June of last year. 6 in 10 doctors made a major career change since 2022. And it's interesting because when I was looking at the data, at this data of 6 and 10 doctors, that's a huge number. And a lot of them, again, it was not just about getting positions. Some of people was getting into doing some charity, voluntary work. Some of them really building their own businesses. But there is a desire, I think, again, to kind of allow yourself to dream about what you want to do. And I think that when you build something that you truly are truly believe the value that you have for you, for the market, for your clients, for your patient, etc., I think it gives you that empowerment and gives you more strengthening when you're facing all the challenges of a change, because change is definitely not easy. So now clarity beats hustle every time. And I think that once again, sometimes we don't realize the misaligned energy and that we have, where we have our cognitive energy, we have our physical energy, we have our emotional energy or emotional capacity, but we also have our spirituality, right? Or soul set, as Robin Sharma described. And we need to pay attention to the four of them and see if there are some misalignment between where I'm spending most of my energy. And once again, sometimes when you realize and get to the point of you get to a clarity process where what you're doing align all your energy levels, that's the recipe for building resilience, for helping this energy, this battery that human being runs out, to help it last longer and recharge faster. And I think that again, clarity will give you what I call focus momentum, okay? Laser focus on task and building things, even if it's a step at a time, enjoying macro wins of through your journey, and that will be compounding over time until you get to a point where you feel that what you're doing, you're moving forward, right, in your journey. Remember, sometimes you might feel this is not about being laziness, it's about being unclear. Again, clarity beats hustle every single time. I was going about another survey about work time control, and it was fascinating because 52% of doctors working 60 plus hours were burned out, right? But 66% of those unhappy with their schedule were burned out. In other words, people that is working more, if they don't feel they're spending the time or they're having the schedule and the control they want or they need or they feel it's important to them, even both groups are working equally in amount of hours, but this group is more burnout than the other. In fact, physicians with schedule dissatisfaction have more burnout with the same amount of working hours compared to those that are working as hard as far as number of hours, but they feel satisfied with the schedule they have. I think that's a very fascinating that prove the concept of this is just not about hours. It's about alignment. It's about the sense of freedom, autonomy, and control that you might have over your own life schedule. And I just want to share that you do have a choice. It's just a matter of what choice are the ones that you're going to make today that will compound into a meaningful change. And I think that this concept goes to anyone. I think these concepts are applicable whether again you are a full-time employee, you are a physician leading teams, you are in an executive role, you are a physician that is building a new business, you're a private owner, you are in telemedicine, you're in digital health, you're a consulting, or even you are a founder of your own company. I think that these what I like about these principles are agnostic in the sense of where you can apply them to is anyone. And I have seen physicians burn out as a full-time employee. I also have seen physicians even more burnout while building their businesses as entrepreneurs. So that's what is important for you to be mindful of your the domains of the pillars of your energy levels and the importance to spend enough time on building clarity, and that will give you the laser focus and setting the priorities that you need. Now, another lessons, when you're going through these, I love the shift. I love reimagine myself. I love to be again this idea of wearing different hats. You might feel scattered, but I feel empowered, right? I'm the physician coach. I'm leading teams. I have employees for my business. Um, I'm building a telemedicine company. I'm helping other physician entrepreneurs on their journey. And and it's amazing when I reflect what I've been doing over the past 5 to 7 years and the massive transformation I have going through. I think that coaching has been one of the pillars and cornerstone of that transformation because I've been going from doctor to founder, from doctor to creator, from doctor to leaders. And I have you have to go through just letting go your old labels. It's not easy, but it's essential. And that's what I describe as that physician persona. We're so rooted into our white coat that feel that change is just not possible. And um and I get it. We went through all this massive training. We spent so much time crafting our skills, but again, I think that if you can find a way to leverage that skill set on things that goes beyond necessarily what you're doing right now, um, you will realize that you were more ready than you thought as far as formal training, or even if you need some skills that are missing, that gap can be closed and narrowed fairly quickly. And I think that physicians has the best conditions with the proper training, mindset, and coaching to be healthcare leaders, executives, founders, advisors, and anything that you can imagine. Now, there is something that is important to understand. Transformation is not about doing more, It's about becoming more of who you really are. And that's very powerful. It's about enhancing, it's about growing, it's about expanding. I like that concept of you're expanding your skill set, you're expanding your reach rather than failing who you are deep at the core. Now, McKinsey found in a survey that 35% of doctors are planning on leave clinical roles in about 5 years, some of which I'm going into entrepreneurship. And if you are already on that journey of getting to build your own business, to scale your own business, I might have some resources for you towards the end. Now, 60% of doctors say that they want input or both in the decision process. And I think, again, going back to that idea of uh, belonging, you want to feel that you're part of something. And but if you're part of something, you should be able to speak. You should be able to share what you want. You should be able to kind of express yourself in a respectful, meaningful way about what you want and what you need. And that's for those that are leading teams. I think that that's and I do coach physicians in leadership position, and that's one of the conversations, and that is one of the hardest part, how you can balance, right, keeping the overall team accountable for the changes that needs to happen or the benchmark that you need to check, along with also give an opportunity for expressing, an opportunity for at least build this sense of cohesion, community, etc. Now, one of the key for me has been to build communities that are or have an opportunity to kind of share that moment, to share that journey. We share our same values, and that's one of the things that we did with our physician exchange entrepreneur, which is designed for physicians, founders, physician entrepreneurs, and business owners that are planning on finding a community where you can get together with people that think and are going through the same journey as you are or as you're going through. Now, how can you do that, right? So, and I need to say that one of the most empowering tools, evidenced by extensive research, is positive intelligence. And that's what I still offer that option on my coaching offering. Although I do a strategic advice, I do business advice, we have the 90 days immersion program, but I'm still offer the positive intelligence because I think that it's very it can help anyone at any stage or phase of their career. You can have an initial reset on your operative system for good. You can come to the realization of understanding that concept of your inner critic, of your inner wisdom, start understanding your subconscious mind, your guts, when you can trust it, when it might be misleading you, and and ultimately learning, right, not to push yourself but rather to be more present, become a force for change, build resilience. And I was going through some stats that were very interesting for me. um, there is a study on the positive intelligence 6 weeks program where mental fitness for surgeons led to significant boost on their positive intelligence score in a sense of connectedness and belonging. And in general, there were descriptions of improvement on their well-being in general. So I think that when I reflect back, I think that reflect back, I have seen that change on me, including. So as you understand more your mental process, you get to that moment where it becomes more easy and even automatic. I have built what I call a lamppost that can tell me that I'm getting into my more critic, out of control inner critic, the judge, as we call him in positive intelligence. And when you get to that point, I think that, or prevent you from getting to that point, I think is crucial and help a lot. Now, the other side of the coin is about being present. Is the fact that sometimes, we go around these busy lives. We're in automatic pilot nearly all the time, and we don't stop to reflect and wind down, and that's crucial and important. One of the concepts that has struck me lately is that concept of restless idleness. Restless idleness. What that means is like that idea that you have this perception that you're always moving around. You cannot stop. You cannot be present. You cannot enjoy the day when the sun is rising in the early morning, or the sunset in the evening. You don't enjoy, the moment, each moment of your life. You don't enjoy the breath that you're taking that make you alive. So I think that having that invitation to having different ways for you to get to a better understanding of your mental processes are crucial. And there are many, many tools that I can share with you, some of which are available at our coaching programs in A Doctor's Journey for those that are interested. Now, I want to spend the last few minutes kind of clarifying a few things that I think important for people to understand. Coaching is not necessarily about giving advice, okay? The best way to describe it is coaching is a mirror to your own wisdom. The best solution I have offered to my clients, usually they're coming from within, not from out in. You don't need more answers, you need more space to hear your own. And that's something that I love. There are uh, evidence on the usefulness of coaching. There is a recent JAMA study where peer coaching significantly reduced burnout and fulfillment. In this session, like, coaching can ask powerful questions, and I believe in the power of questioning and getting to that place of reflection back. They find their own solutions. And this is a quote that I love from an executive coach. Again, coaching is not advice, because you are the expert on you, and you are expert in your life. So encourage physicians to tap their inner expertise leads to more commitment that top-down fixes. And again, going back to aha moments, I have seen them. I have seen that change in energy. I have seen how sometimes people coming from this side of energy and start rising as we go along with the conversation, and that's just mind blowing. And I enjoy so much sharing those experiences. But in reality, it's not about telling you how it works. It's more about experiencing. And that's what I like to have the opportunity again to continue sharing the importance of this concept, about mental fitness, about positive intelligence, about coaching in general. Now, I want to kind of summarize all the lessons that I have shared with you. Remember that burnout is not a workload issue, because real client stories where reducing hours didn't fix the problem. It's more about meaning misalignment. Physicians are hungry for having a permission to dream. So get off your tunnel vision. When was the last time that you let yourself imagine in a different future, and what that future looks like? Reflect on it. Clarity beats hustle every single time. One thing is being busy, and the other thing is being aligned. Just show you how physicians work in same amount of hours, some of which are more burnout than others. Identity are the hardest part because letting go of just being a doctor identity is challenging. But it's feasible. I have multiple instances and experiences from even my own personal life, my own clients that I can share with you that these have happened over and over again. All you need is that first decision. Mental fitness is not optional, I think. And for those interested in positive intelligence, again, we do have a positive intelligence program, a mental fitness program that is based on positive intelligence. And the best solution come within. That's about coaching, right? It's about celebrating your inner wisdom and insight when we give you enough space. So now, I'm gonna share some of the resources we have. Right now, we're in the process of before we do that, I just want to interesting that there is an AMA report that 60% of physicians will consider coaching, but only 50% do. So something that for you to reflect upon after everything or all the conversation we have had. Now, do you need to be burned out in order to need or benefit from coaching? Definitely no. I think that grow can be proactive. I always tell my clients, I don't want you to be as burned out as I was at some point back in 2017, 2018. Why wait until you are in the breaking point to start considering a change or get help? I think that how fast coaching works, it depends. It depends on how interest you are in going through this change. I think change is the hardest part. Accountability comes with a consequence, agency, and but it's definitely worth doing it. I think the value is there. I have experienced it myself at the deepest level, and that's kind of why I'm trying to share that with you today. Um, I think the path is not easy, but it is definitely worth it. And remember that you don't have to do it alone. You just have to say yes to yourself. So, for those physicians that are already a physician executive with their own business, you're planning on scaling your business, you're planning on getting in a group of people that is interesting on uplift you and empower you, and you feel ready for this massive change. We have an amazing program with personalized support, expert coaching, and AI tools that can help you in your journey. And that is the 90 days PEX immersion program, where you're going to learn to be the CEO that your business needs. So I invite anyone to kind of look into it. This is specifically for those physicians already on entrepreneurship. They're planning on, they have a clarity of what the idea they want to develop and get the resources to make that happen, to make that a reality, to improve or scale the business that you already have inside of healthcare or outside of healthcare. And last but not least, we always love to get connected. You can subscribe to a Doctor's Journey podcast where we interview physicians uh, and others, non-physicians too, that are driving a change in the healthcare system. We talk about innovation, we talk about startups, we have conversations about artificial intelligence, mental fitness, etc. So I invite you to connect and listen to our podcast that you can have in all the platforms, including Spotify, Apple, and YouTube, for those who like to see. You can join our newsletter too. We publish at least once or twice a week with amazing articles that are very interesting to consider reviewing. If you're interested in coaching, again, you have the information about my website at A Doctor's Journey, where you will be able to kind of get more resources about what we do, about coaching, about entrepreneurship, and mental fitness and digital health consulting. I'm doing the research process and interview process for an amazing coming book that I'm writing about a digital health consulting. Uh, uh, Basically, all the tools that you need to be a successful digital health consultant. So I'm very excited about these projects I'm working on, and more to come in the near future. So at this point, I'm going to leave you with some reflections about change, about the importance of grow, and I'm hoping that sharing what I have learned give you and help you spark some meaningful change in your life and in your journey. And consider connect with us at the Doctor's Journey. Thank you very much, and I'll see you around.